Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Scott with What's Happening Birmingham. Today, I have the honor and pleasure and welcome back Birmingham City Councilor for District 7, Councilor Wardine Alexander. Councilor Alexander, happy afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. I'm so glad to be here with you again.
Great. Welcome back. You're going to be seeing this space a little bit more. She's going to give us updates on all the great things she's doing in District 7. So, Councilor Alexander, my first question is, how you been doing? How your family been doing during this COVID-19?
Well, we've all been coping. My family has been coping just like everyone else as we've gone through this global pandemic. Of course, we've missed being around our family members. So I've been encouraged by the fact that we have the vaccinations that we're beginning to distribute so that we can get back to what I'm going to call our new normal. We know that we'll never be the same, but I am just encouraged by some of the events that are going on to try to remedy this terrible disease.
Okay, so yesterday you all renewed the mask orders for the city of Birmingham. Can you tell people more about that?
Well, yes, as you know, Governor Ivy, her mask ordinance would be lifted on Friday. And so I was very excited by the leadership that was shown between the mayor and the city council and wanting to extend this for the citizens and the municipality of Birmingham. Of course, we know Birmingham has always been a leader. And so we wanted to lead this effort in, again, fighting this global pandemic and doing what we can to keep our families safe. Now, we know that we've been faced with certain issues as far as how that vaccination has been distributed. Even though we know that quite a few people are being vaccinated and that our current administration has this goal of getting all adults vaccinated, I believe that's now by up to before July 4th. But we do see some disparity in how those vaccinations have been dispersed in our community. Now, I was excited to be a part of getting 1,000 vaccinations in District 7 at Greater Shiloh, but that's still not enough. So by wearing the mask, again, that's not only for your safety, it's for the safety of others. So again, I was very glad to see that leadership in that vote yesterday of extending our mask ordinance until May 24th.
Okay, one of the things I liked about what your focus and goals is for this year is you have a 3 C's campaign.
Yes.
Can you explain to the viewers what those 3 C's are?
Well, yes. And again, we're faced with numerous issues here in District 7, as all families are throughout the United States. But I feel there are 3 things that I've been focusing on and really paying attention to and laser focused on are conditions involving COVID-19, and I call them the 3 C's: COVID-19, community cleanliness, and community revitalization. We touched a little bit about COVID-19, and of course, again, talking about the mask ordinance and bringing those vaccinations into our areas where we see that there is, again, disparity and inequity in how those are being dispensed. I just saw some information yesterday where under 30% or only 30% of the Black population, or the African-American population, has had vaccinations distributed in their areas, where we see over 50% of that distribution in our Caucasian neighborhoods. So I want to levy those playing fields and bring those in. So again, working with churches and organizations like Greater Shiloh, Cahaba Medical Care, ARMS, all of those we're trying to distribute and get those vaccinations in our neighborhoods.
And one thing I noticed about the ones that you was particularly doing, it was kind of like first come, first serve.
Yes.
To go through the process of registering and all that.
Yes, and again, now Cahaba Medical Care did manage those vaccinations at Greater Shiloh, and they did put those vaccinations appointments on the website, and it was the first 1,000 that signed up were the first 1,000 to get it, based again on the guidelines that were given at that time as far as age and health conditions. And so it was important to me to, again, get those into our communities as we continue. Now, we know UAB has a series of vaccination clinics or sites, but I'm trying to increase pop-up sites actually within our district so that we can get people who have transportation needs, might not be able to get to these surrounding areas.
Yeah, and the next, can you tell me about the next C? I like the next one.
The next C, and that would be community cleanliness. Now, I have to say that as being a resident of District 7, and I want to be sure that my neighbors know that they are not alone in being frustrated by the blight and the trash that we see within the district. I have residents who call and report those issues. And so I want them to know that I'm also concerned as well and looking for a solution to those issues. So we want to be proactive in our office, and we want to live in an area that we love to live in and that we find that is clean and conducive to a good quality of life. So there are certain opportunities that when residents call in to report those type issues, then we do ask them to call in to 311. And this is a community portal or a service that's managed by the Department of Public Works. And they will record the issue. You'll have to provide them with the address. It's always great to provide pictures, and then we can help monitor and get those areas cleaned up. Another thing that we also focus on in District 7 is with the community cleanups. We've had several starting this year, starting in the Raleigh area. I want to thank that Raleigh neighborhood, people like Mrs. Ochuba, Mr. Sullen. These are residents who've been taking on the issue themselves, being proactive, working with the district. We actually have one coming up in my own neighborhood in a few weeks on April 24th. And we'll be down at the Roosevelt City Community Center. We'll be sprucing up the community center as well as doing cleanups in that area. The District 7 office, I've been very excited about being able to support the Roosevelt City Community Center. I've given over $30,000, most recently $15,000 in discretionary funds to help beautify and clean up and make that Roosevelt Community Center one that we can all be proud of. We're also doing some work in the Germania Park neighborhood within District 7. They're going through a complete revamping. We're going to bring in some gazebos, signage, different play area for our residents. Again, I want District 7 to be a place that we're all proud to live, work, and play in. And so that's why I'm focusing on community cleanups and what we can do proactively to keep our neighborhoods clean.
And anybody can come if they want to volunteer to clean, right?
Oh, definitely. The more hands, the merrier. I actually reached out to some service organizations who have been willing to help us in the past. At the recent Raleigh neighborhood cleanup, we had a group called the Neighborhood Blight Busters. These are volunteers who have gone out, received grants, got their own equipment, and they come in and do some heavy clipping and cleaning to help us maintain our neighborhoods. So anyone is welcome to come and join us. That'll be Saturday, April 24th. That'll be at the Roosevelt City Community Center from 9 till 11.
Okay, and your last C is, I'll let you say it.
Community revitalization.
Okay.
This encompasses quite a lot. There are many different parts when we talk about revitalizing our neighborhoods. That can be from building new homes, tearing down and demolishing homes, as well as workforce development. Let me start first with workforce development. This is something I'm very excited about that's going on in District 7. I don't know if you know, recently, back in the fall, we did announce that we have 2 new companies that are coming and building in District 7. That is the FedEx. They'll have a ground distribution center off of Lakeshore, as well as an old longtime company, family-owned company in Birmingham, Buffalo Bottling, Buffalo Rock. They're also going to be bringing manufacturing into our area. That is encompassing about 350 jobs between both those new manufacturers. And that helps to also help the bottom line, about $40.5 million that we'll be putting into revenue, where we'll be able to build and have income and revenues, where we'll be able to aid with roads, transportation, building new homes.
Yeah, because one thing we know is through this pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yes.
Throughout this whole process. And a lot of these jobs, I know may not possibly be coming back. So anything that's new, coming in the area is definitely great as well.
Yes, we're excited about both of those companies coming in. I'm also very encouraged by the opportunity this may bring for the residents in District 7. I don't know if the residents know, but I'm part of what's called a Unum Fellows Project. This is a cohort of Southern area elected officials. We're actually going to be given each of us will be given a $75,000 grant that we can use towards trying to prevent racial inequalities that are going on in our area. The one that I'm targeting again is workforce development. So I'm creating through my project a pipeline between Lawson State, secondary, high schools, so that we'll be able to ensure that our residents are trained and ready to be a part of that workforce. So I'll be giving more information later as that project develops, but that's very, very encouraging. And I actually have buy-in from Buffalo Rock and Lawson State, where they'll do some collaborative training and be sure that our residents, again, are able to fill those jobs. One thing that often I want to be sure that when we go out and we give incentives for companies to come in, these companies just don't bring in their own staff, but that we have these jobs available for our residents. So creating that pipeline, I think that again helps the community. By then people will be able to have jobs, they'll be able to build homes, they'll be able to work and play in the district.
I want to go back to the midst of, with COVID-19, like how did your office adjust and still maintain throughout this whole period?
Thank you for asking about that. Of course, as most companies, we had to go into a mode of readiness as far as trying to be sure we're protecting ourselves and our staff. So we did go on and do remote working, teleworking from home. So when you call the District 7 office at 254-2498, you may have to leave a message, or your call will be answered by someone that is manning the phone, not necessarily in the office. So I encourage you, anyone who wants to report or talk about situations that are going on in the district, to call that number. We do have staff that will be readily available, as well as I, to answer your questions and help you with your problems. So we actually have been also meeting virtually as a city council since the first of the year, again, as a means of protecting ourselves and waiting for that the incidence of the COVID-19. We want to get beyond any surges that we have as we plateau, and then we get this herd immunity and we get everyone vaccinated.
Another thing I want to mention too, do you have any town halls coming up? I know you've been doing that, continuing as well.
Well, thank you. I have had a series. We did have in February, our District 7 Town Hall was held with Mayor Woodfin, where we shared a lot of information about what's going on in the district and things that are coming up about the district. I've also had the opportunity, by working or being chair of the Utilities Committee, that I've had a series of town hall where I've brought utilities such as the Waterworks, the Urban League agencies who are helping you, because we also realize one of the other things that affected our families during COVID-19, as you said earlier, many families lost revenue, they lost jobs, and so they found themselves in a place where they couldn't pay rent, couldn't pay their mortgage, couldn't pay their utilities. And so what I've been doing every month is hosting a town hall, bringing together one of the utilities to talk about the support and the service they provide, as well as one of those agencies. I am happy to report the city of Birmingham did receive $1.6 million, where we're going to roll out a program that will be helping with rent and utility assistance. And of course, we know the American Rescue Plan, we're getting almost $168 million. That will go for community infrastructure, rebuilding neighborhoods, revitalizing communities, as well as assisting those residents in need.
Okay, and one of my final, before I get to ask any final comments, what message would you want to give to constituents or citizens of Birmingham that possibly may be having a little hesitancy? Because, we got more vaccines coming out, but we need to get the people to take them. It doesn't mean that they have the vaccines and they're not going in the arms and things.
Well, I have to say, I have been fully vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I did elect to go ahead and become vaccinated. I understand the hesitance of some residents. They want to be sure that the vaccines are safe and that they're going to be effective. We know how our community has been treated in the past when it comes to experimental or drug programs or type of medical programs. So I understand that. And I don't think I think everyone should take consideration of the information that's out there regarding the efficacy of the vaccine, as well as any harm that it may cause to others. It may make you feel a little uncomfortable after the shot, but again, that shows you that the immunity is kicking in and the vaccine is doing what it's supposed to do. So I just encourage all residents, now that it's 16 and above, that means a wide number of residents are now included and eligible now for the vaccines. I ask you as a family, sit down, look at the facts, read the data, and then I do encourage everyone to take the vaccination.
Okay, so give me that phone number and contact information. They want to get in touch with you again?
Yes, the D7 office is 254-2498, or you can reach me at wardine.alexander@birmingham, all one word, al.gov. I'll be happy to talk with you, help you with any concerns or issues that you may have, and we look forward to talking with everyone.
All right, any last message you want to tell your constituents that, just haven't, you've been wanting to tell them the past few months since all this has been going on and stuff?
Well, I just want to say, again, it's my pleasure to serve, the residents of District 7. I appreciate the confidence and support they put in our office to help them with their issues. I feel as a city councilor, my primary role is to legislate as well as to advocate for the residents. And this is what our office does on a daily basis. When you call in and have any issues or concerns, first thing I want to do is advocate as well as educate you on those issues. So again, it is my pleasure and a humble to be able to serve the residents of District 7. And I look forward and encouraged by any calls or concerns they may have for our office.
Okay, well, Councilor Alexander, thank you for coming on. Thank you for agreeing to come on for a couple more times, to kind of talk about the things, because one of the things we do need to keep the residents informed of everything that's going on in the community, especially with these vaccines that's being rolled out that, now we don't have to worry about. It's literally, I think I read in the press somewhere, they're going to be doing mobile coming to people's homes.
Yes, we've got pop-up sites. I think they're also adding that if you have any home health care issues, then those home health care agencies will be able to bring the shots to you. So again, we're seeing more availability. Again, we want to level the playing field, make it equitable in our communities. But I look forward to discussing issues again with you, talking about these 3 C's again, talking about other things that are relative at that time. So I look forward to discussing it with you again in the future.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Councilor Alexander. Thank you all for watching this podcast. Please check out more podcasts at whatshappenedbirmingham.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all again and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.